안녕하세요. Guys, it's Wit. We have a planned nerf for this new content for episode 2, season 3, and the community is kind of divided on that. And as you expect, every time they announce nerfing something, so you're going to have a kind of division within the player base. So what are we talking about? So we are talking about patch 1.3.10, which is scheduled for November 12th, which is tomorrow. And the community has something to say about it. In any case, this is what the patch is all about. Now, bear in mind, this is just a preview, and they haven't put out the patch yet. And as you can see right here, pay attention to this. They say the schedule and details are subject to change, and details will be provided in patch note once the patch is complete. So we'll see tomorrow what they come up with, because you know they are following the community's feedback and what everybody else is saying. But this is what they plan on doing. For the patch preview, they say adjustment to party battle difficulty of the supermassive receptor. Now, as you can remember, when this mission first came out, a lot of people enjoy it, but a lot of people realize that when you do it in party setting, it is a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging, because the boss have a lot of health. Now, for a lot of people, this really doesn't matter because they finally get a challenge, so they're okay with it. And for a lot of other people, then that is not the case. They feel like it needs to be adjusted. So it seems like the developer are going to take some steps to actually change the difficulty or whatnot. Now, in my opinion, personally, like, I never had any issue with it because I enjoy playing in party and also enjoy doing something solo. I do it both solo and party, and I realize it is a lot more challenging in the party. I've already mentioned this in previous video, but for me, it is fine because I am taking my time to do things in this game. But I also understand for a lot of people, this may not be the case because they don't like this kind of grind. Now, for me, the biggest issue that I have with this episode 2 update is the lag. It is insane. And when we go to X, Twitter, and also on Reddit, you'll see a lot of people complain about the same thing. On Xbox, PS5, and also I think on PC, a lot of people are reporting the lag. It is insane. Even in Albion, there are so much lag in this episode 2 update. It is insane. In any case, now we have so much division in the game. Let's look at the data for the player base before we go and talk about what people are saying on Twitter and also what they are saying on Reddit. Now, as you can see, when it comes to the player base, people that are playing right now, and then that is a 1 week data, we got 11,000 people playing. Now, it is not dead yet, like a lot of people suggest the game is dead, so you still have quite a few people playing. It is not the best compared to how it used to be when it first started, but you can see 24-hour peak is 11,700, and then 48 hours, you can see, how things are changing. So it is not too bad when it comes to people saying it is a dead game, but still. Now, it's fair to ask, is this patch note that is dividing the community, is it going to bring the player count down, or is it going to increase it? But I don't know. We'll have to see. Now, let's go see what people on X are saying. All right, as you can see right here, this is the patch note once they announce it. And that was today. And you can see what people are saying. This user said, no, don't nerf it. It's perfectly fine. Just add more of the crafting materials to drop from it. It's saying that it needs a total of 1,800 for whatever sake, and we barely get anything from one run. Now, I'm showing you an example when it comes to the crafting materials. Now, as you can see right here, now let's say, for instance, for hairs. Now, I have been grinding hairs, but like I said, for me personally, I take my time. So if I go to Descendant and I'm looking at hairs, I got all the parts necessary to craft her. But as you can see, the only thing that is missing is the materials, the writhing organic matter. That requires 100 for all 3 pieces. You don't need those materials for the code, but you need it for 3 pieces. That means I need 100 for each, and that's a total of 300 that you have to farm. And for every run, in my experience, it seems like you only get 10. I think 10 is the max that you get for a run, but I am not 100% sure because I haven't been keeping track. But I've played the mission for quite a while, and yeah, this is the first time I am able to craft 1 piece. So I am going to craft my 1 piece for this part. That way I can go back and grind. Like I said, I am not in a rush, but I do understand that a lot of people, they just want to get their character as soon as they can, so they may not be too happy. But it would be nice if they can increase the drop rate for the required materials to craft either the sword from the void vessel and also the descendant from those type of mission. Now, as far as nerfing the damage, I can understand why they want to nerf it. They have the data. They know what's going on in the game. So if they decide that's what they want to do, then yeah. Now, when you look at the mission, so if you put your cursor on it, you can see they say the estimated playtime is 20 minutes or less. Now, like I was saying, and I said in previous video, sometime in party settings, it might take 15 minutes and sometime might take whatever. But when I do it solo, it might take me 9-10 minutes. It all depends. But some people can do it in 3. So it depends on your build and it depends on which character that you're using. So it is going to make a difference. As you can see, there is going to be a lot of opinion on this matter. So, you know, it is going to be different from different people. And you can see this one right here say not even a week after patch and you are already going to nerf Supermassive, which takes around 3 minutes per run once you build a sword. How about you give some time for the casual players to adapt to the difficult content instead of quickly nerfing it? So you can see not everybody is agreeing with the nerf that is coming, and they also mentioned the sword, and that is also another problem for a lot of people that cannot even finish grinding for the sword. Like I said, I personally, I'm still grinding for the sword, and I am not complaining. I'm taking my time, so it is what it is. And you can see going down further, this user said, no, do not nerf Supermassive Receptor. It is fine. So as you can see, a lot of people are saying that it is fine. They don't care about the difficulty. And this one person say, I don't think a difficulty adjustment is needed for Supermassive Receptor. It's pretty good, and I'm doing it fine with Blair Solo. As you can see on X, not everybody is taking very kindly about the nerf. So this person said, they nerfing the new dungeon boss, so all the crybabies with suboptimal builds can play too. I guess we're back to everything in the room blowing up before we even walk in, and 10-second boss fight. So anyway, now let's move over to Reddit and see what the crowd in Reddit are talking about. Anyway, same thing on Reddit. You can see there are going to be some mixed feelings. There are going to be some disagreement, but there is more of a positive vibe that I've noticed after I read all the comments on Reddit. Now, this is this one comment right here because I think this person makes a lot of good points in this post. It says, it seems like the community is divided. Some are against nerfs while others welcome them. If you are against nerfs as a matter of principle, I'd say you're plain wrong and are a net negative on this game and community. The game needs to be adjusted from time to time to stay and become great. If you are against nerfs because they reduce difficulty in specific cases, like the boss of the Supermassive Dungeon, then I agree with you. The boss was just right and challenging enough to be fun. I had an awesome party yesterday with someone after another left mid-fight. It was tense and it took a while with many devs, but was so fulfilling after we won. Obviously, the devs have the data and can tell how many can actually beat or even enjoy the boss. I just hope they would have a choice here by using difficulty settings. Again, this user makes a lot of sense in what he is saying. So in my opinion, what they should have done the same thing that they did with the Void Vessel. They give you a normal difficulty and also give you a hard difficulty. That means if you feel like you cannot do the harder difficulty, then you can just use the normal difficulty. But the problem is the resources that you need to craft those items. I think they really need to adjust that and give the player a little bit more than what they are giving, because even though you are trying to get people to play a lot more by really making their resources really scarce for them to get them and craft them the stuff that they need, some people are still going to give up because they don't feel like it's worth their time. So I would say they need to look at that and make some adjustment and increase their resources drop. That way, you know, they have a balance. Anyway, I am not a dev, so I don't know what they're going to do. For me, either way, it is going to be fine. But I can understand why they can make some adjustment in some of the bosses fight. Anyway, we still got this same sentiment. They say, I don't think it needed any nerfs, but the problem is that the boss is easy to kill with this sword. Like, again, people are talking about this sword, and people just don't want to grind for the sword or anything in this game, apparently. But honestly, I don't care. It wasn't hard before anyway, both solo and co-op. Anyway, so you can see this person's sentiment. But anyway, so as you can see, there are different opinions that is going on with the game and with this upcoming nerf to the new mission. So I would like to know what you think about it. So again, with me personally, it's the frame rate, the lag, and all that kind of stuff that is making it unplayable. A lot of time I have to leave the mission. But I do understand everybody's point of view. Everybody is going to play the game for different reasons, but I do feel like they need to make difficulty settings for this type of mission. A normal and a hard would be fine in my opinion. That way the person that needs to play the hard difficulty can do it, and then the person that wants the normal difficulty can also have that option. And I think that would be a fair decision in my opinion. But again, this is just my opinion. I would like to know what yours in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.